Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to MotorMouth Broadcasting, and welcome into the High Point Racing GT Challenge for round 10 of season 2 here, live from Mount Panorama in Bathurst in New South Wales of Australia. Hamish Ronner here with you alongside Jim Cunningham. As the mountain calls our name, patience is going to be the key this evening as mistakes are being made in qualifying, Jim. Nathan Biggett is not currently on provisional pole position. Daniel Pino, David Steiner have surpassed him as he has just made a mistake at the bottom of the mountain. But it's a track, Jim, tonight that will select its winner. We won't know who's going to win this race. The racetrack will decide. It is one which has an aura about it. It's a track which has some it has a mind of its own, if you will, and many, many years it has made many, many memories for some drivers, majority of which are good, some of which are absolutely terrible. It all starts, though, on the main straight. And 120 metres later, you hit turn 1, and if you cannot take some patience off the race start into turn 1, then you just need to get out of it and start from pit lane. The run up, though, the mountain straight towards turn 2 at Griffin's Bend. Good passing opportunity mid-race, but you've got to be committed, Jim. You cannot get in here half committed because you'll end up causing an incident. Up through turn 3 and 4 in towards the cutting. This section here, one line through turn 3 and 4, Jim. You cannot try and go too wide. You will end up in the wall and you'll end up in strife. Then the run up through 5 and 6 as you begin to dance up the hill towards Silman Park. You got to hug the wall on the left-hand side between 5 and 6. Can't take too much curb on the inside, though. Otherwise, it'll spit you straight into the wall at turn 7 and it will cause you massive havoc. Then you're just watching the rev counter go up and up and up as you run up the gears through 8 and 9 and you begin to descent back down the hill again. Through the grate you go towards McPhillamy Park at turn 10, where it's a fast-paced run, 5th gear corner, and then you start the descent, the proper descent, in towards one of the most famous sections of this track, Brock Skyline, down through turn 11. You click down to 4th gear on the brakes, down to 3rd, down to 2nd, as you run through turn 12 and 13, and then into the dipper at 14 and 15, where the rear tyres will likely get a bit of air on the left-hand side. You've got to get them back down again when you get back on the power and get the car back up to speed as you run it through turns 16 and 17, where famously, just over 10 years ago, Chaz Mostert hit the wall in qualifying during the Bathurst 1000 and destroyed his car and broke his leg. Then you get up to Forest Elbow at turn 18. This is our next major overtaking opportunity. You can tuck it down the inside, but the car will not want to turn. You've got to get it slowed up, otherwise you're going to run it wide and into the wall. And then we begin the fastest straight in Australian motorsport, down towards the Chase, down Mountain Straight, down Conrod, towards the famous turn 20, fastest corner in Australian motorsport, Jim. This is where a ton and a half of race car at 300 kilometers an hour will feel like a ton and a half of race car at 300 kilometers an hour. Hard on the brakes into turn 21 and 22. And as you try and get this thing through here, it's a dancing act. It's a balancing act as well, making sure you don't run it wide and into the sand. And then down towards the final corner at 23 for what is a 6.2 kilometer circuit, roughly 2-minute 5 lap times, and a track which will decide our race winner here this evening, Jim. It is a racing circuit in which you need to bring respect to. You cannot underestimate this place. If you are not committed to making the move at any point, do not make the move. It will end in tears for you and your competitor around here.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is by the way, that was a fantastic run through on that track map. This is a favorite track of mine. It's right up there in the top, 3 or 4 that I just get excited to go to no matter what. I get excited to broadcast it, no matter how many times we do it in a week. There's some of them that get old after one, but there's certain tracks that you could just do over and over again, and this is one of them. I love this place. It's beautiful. If anybody noticed the thumbnail that I posted, I found a beautiful picture on the internet, a shot going down the mountain at sunset. Absolutely gorgeous place. So we are finishing up qualifying right now, and we should be gritting up pretty soon here. I think there might be a little bit.
I think what we have. So not only what we have right now, Jim, is Nathan Biggett is not on the front row of the grid at all. He's on the second row. He's been out-qualified by both the Australians, David Steiner and Michael Caffrey, and it is an all-international top 3 in qualifying. Daniel Pino has gone pole position for the start of this race, so the Chilean will hope to maximise on this qualifying. Steiner, Caffrey, the Australians should be 2 of the favourites in the field. They would have done many laps around here on many different games and sims across the years. They would have watched many a Bathurst 1000 or a Bathurst 12-hour as well. Bigot's going to have to contest for that tonight, starting at a P4. Justin Bock, Ryan Bajole on our 3rd row of the grid, with Kenneth Clodden and Lakin Shoren behind them. Stephen Smith, Jed Cotterman will then make up our top 10, with Tristan Richard and Shelby Huff making up the top 12. We then have Scott Petrone and Brian Scott in behind them, with Mark Ogier and John Swan making up our top 17. Patrick Rich has not set a time in qualifying in the GT3 class. He'll start further back in the field. Cole Malley, the banker / chemistry substitute teacher / accountant, will start at a pole position for the GT4 class. He'll start along or just ahead of Ryan Cerulik and Daniel Nans, with Tyler Hammond and Edward Delano starting in behind them for the top 22. Delano going pole position for the rookie class as well. Aidan Kiley, Felix Collette will then make up our top 24. That's where Patrick Rich will be, in behind them alongside Lance Campbell, James Lenevan, Carl Sierra, Christopher Coy, and then Liam Habul makes up our starting grid here this evening. Of course, Liam, his father, has won the Bathurst 12-hour here before. He's going to have to go a long way if he hopes to win the GT4 class tonight and do what his dad did a couple of years ago.
That's that's true. I forgot about that. So my initial take from looking at that, the starting grid there, is the fact that we've got Cole Malley on the pole for the GT4 rookies. That's nice. And shocker, not that I have anything against his skiller, but Edward Delano has taken pole in the rookie or the amateur class or whatever. I lost my train of thought as to the GT4.
Well, the GT4s
rookie
are just looking to get ready to go, but the GT3s are heading down towards turn 23 to get this race started. Patience is going to be the key around the mountain tonight. You cannot try and gain anything on the first lap unless the door opens for you. Green flag running at Bathurst, Mount Panorama, as they run down towards turn number 1 for the first time. Pino takes the lead. Caffrey and Steiner side by side through turn 1. And as they run up Mountain Straight, Jim, they just got to keep themselves in check, keep themselves ready to go for the braking zone at turn 2 as you're on the bumps, as the GT4s get started further back as well. There's already some movement happening further back in the field up the hill towards turn 2, but they'll have to get into their line of stern. Bit of a wide run, though, there for for Justin Bock. That's lost him P3 on the road now. And that's what you got to be careful about at turn 2. You got to try and hug the inside line. It's a tough corner around this circuit, Jim, and it's one that will cost you positions if you have never done it before. But watch them try and hug the wall. Run up through Reed Park and up towards Silman and McPhillamy. And they've got to be careful, these walls, Jim. Like this place here, it can be any lap. Doesn't matter if it's lap 1 or lap 100. Any lap, you can hit the wall and your day can be done.
Yeah, this place is a lot of trouble going through that mountain. And the one thing that strikes me the most is you get your car turned around on that mountain, and you can collect half the field really fast. If you try to do something stupid and get that car sideways across the track, there's nowhere to go.
And this is no offense to the drivers. There's no room for stupidity tonight. There is no room for it. You need to be on your game. You need to be patient. You need to set yourself up for what's to come, because it's a track that it will reward you for patience. It will reward you for running smart. It will hurt you if you try and take any small advantage across the road without taking any sort of mindset, as there's already been a victim of the circuit, Jim. James Lenevan has gone round right at Forest Elbow, and that car is backed up into the wall, and he's just towed it back to pits in the GT4 class. So let's see how this has happened here. So he runs through, and he just runs straight in the back of the 16 car.
Oh. Yeah, that's not good.
And again, that's not taking patience as your virtue around this place. Patrick Rich as well, and the Porsches also had a moment as well as he's run round turn 23, caught the curb, rear end went round. Doesn't matter if it's a rear end or a front engine car. That sort of moment there happens if you catch that curb incorrectly, Jim. As we'll get the timing up, and we can see that Daniel Pino is leading the way. David Stein will be right on board with him on the second screen, following him along across the top of the mountain. And, I mean, as you run through here, Jim, it just, you almost get some tunnel vision. You're surrounded by walls, but you're also surrounded by beautiful, picturesque trees. And then as you come down towards McPhillamy Park and you run around turn 10, it's like the gates open and you just see a massive horizon line. It's like, where's the road? Where do you go? And you've got to try and dance the car and think corners ahead as you approach this section and hope that the track's not jammed as you approach it.
Yeah, that's the thing. There are so many blind spots on this track. It may be more blind spots on this track than any other track in the world. I don't know.
Well, there's quite a few. I would say the Nürburgring probably has more, but that's because there's more corners.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only reason I would say that could be the case. Ryan Cerulic, Cole Malley battling away as well for the GT4 lead at this stage as they run up across the top of the mountain, and the GT3 settle into their rhythm further ahead of them. It'll probably take them, I would say, Jim, maybe 3 or 4 laps at least until they catch the GT4 leaders. They've already built up roughly a half a lap, or about a third of a lap's gap ahead, because they've just entered Conrod Straight, and the rest of the field is finishing up their first or their lap at this stage. I think one of the biggest tests of this track is obviously the endurance factor. So there's a reason why they run 3 endurance races here in the year, across obviously the Bathurst 1000 for the Supercars Championship, the Bathurst 12 Hour for the Intercontinental GT Challenge, and then also across Easter weekend as well, the Bathurst 6 Hour, which brings a whole lot of local racing cars into that field, and they run a lot of sort of production cars. It's a production car race more so than anything. It is a fun time across the weekend as well. You see a whole heap of different car types out there, including a 1998 Toyota Camry, which has become quite a synonymous sort of cult hero amongst the Bathurst 6 Hour field for the Liqui Moly 6 Hour every single year in April. So it's a good time.
That's interesting. I did not know that. That sounds like a nice party kind of weekend.
Oh, it would be. It would be. The Easter Bunny does come to Bathurst, Jim. Does deliver some chocolate eggs to people as well. Jed Cotterman at this stage, P3 at the moment in the GT3 Pro-Am field. He's just in behind Kenneth Claudon and Michael Caffery. The X factor, though, of Australian local knowledge of this circuit. You won't find many Australians who've never run laps around Bathurst. It's pretty rare to say. But we mentioned to the end of it, this circuit, Jim. For my money, for circuits that have got, in quotes, aura around them, this circuit is in the top 3 with the Nürburgring and with Le Mans. Like, those 3 have got an aura with them, and then you want to extend that to the top 5, you add into it Daytona and Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And you could maybe argue Monaco's in there as well.
It definitely is. It just, unfortunately, the racing's not that quality anymore.
So you could maybe knock out Daytona for Monaco, and Daytona could sit in a very respectable 6. But for my money, Bathurst is within the top 3. Maybe even top 2 ahead of Le Mans. That just comes down to personal preference, I think. But it is a track with so much history. The Bathurst 1000 has been around for a little over 60 years at this point. It's a place that has come a long way in terms of its racing, has moved for position here. Tyler Hammond, Daniel Nans in towards the chase. He wanted it on the inside, but Hammond has run it wide down at turn 21. And as he now gets back on the track, Nans runs away in the Bilstein entry and holds position here. But at the moment, Jim, these GT3 cars, they're doing well. They're just sitting in a nicely sat position across the top of the mountain. And at this stage, Kenneth Claudon and Lakin Shaw continue to battle away for position here. Justin Box just started, not Lakenshaw, sorry, Justin Box just started to run away from Beaujolais and Culloden, who battled in behind him.
Yeah, Bach is, Beaujolais is kind of surprising. I think he's just laying back, trying to settle in, because he was really fast in early parts of qualifying and practice. In fact, I'd even made a comment about that. So I fully expect him to have the pace. Oh my gosh.
That's Daniel Nans down at Griffin's Bend. Oh no.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. You just can't do that. You got to just tow.
The relative is your friend. You can get it turned around, but you need to keep an eye on the relative. There is no room for just trying to back it back and get it going again. You need to make sure that there is no one coming, because otherwise
we got to spin up here.
Ends in tears.
We got to spin.
That there was Kenneth Culloden.
Yeah, it was Culloden.
So this is what happened to Daniel Nance. Oh, sorry, this was after he already got going again. Here we go. This is the moment with him. So he just got it loose, caught the curb, too much power on the rears and straight into the wall. Classic moment up at turn 2.
We'll see what happened to Culloden. I'm pretty sure a famous first replay is always in slow motion, Jim.
That's good. It gives us time to kind of set up for it.
So, yeah, right. So, there's a hit here. Oh, he got turned.
Beaujolais.
Oh, and Beaujolais got smoked from behind by somebody.
That was Stephen Smith, who's just come into pit lane. So Smith's had to come in to fix that car for any little damage, but that may hurt Beaujolais. He may see a drive-through at some point in this race for that moment.
Man,
again, just
NASA
wasn't fully committed.
Sorry.
Yeah, luckily he didn't send him to space.
Yeah, that's a tough situation there. But man, how unfortunate for Culloden, man. He was running good there and just kind of got, Beaujolais got into the back of him. I mean, we've seen Beaujolais race enough this season to know he's a clean racer. It's not, certainly wasn't anything intentional. If he was trying to stick his nose in there, he was way late to be doing that. So I'm just going to assume that he drove it in there a little deep, or maybe Kenneth slowed a little earlier than he was expecting or something. Oh, what's going on up here with David Steiner?
Yeah, he's now on the back of Pino. He made mincemeat of Nathan Biggett, who's just set the fastest lap of the race, 2:04.68. So the top 3 separated by barely anything. But Steiner has found mid-race pace here, Jim. Maybe Pino could be trying to save some fuel at this stage of the race as well. It is a track which has quite variable fuel levels as well. It is pretty easy to actually save fuel around here. It's not too difficult. You can, across a stint, save a good lap or two if you're smart with where you're saving. But yeah, I'd say Pino may be running that strategy of just trying to save the fuel and save the tires, because once you kill the tires here, it is so hard to get them back again.
And that's very possible. We know Daniel saves all the time. That's part of his MO. I think we'd be negligent not to mention Michael Caffrey in 4th place overall right now as a Pro-Am driver. That's a heck of a run, and he's 6 spots ahead of the next Pro-Am driver. I mean, he's having a heck of a run here.
He saw this track on the calendar, Jim, and he's like, that's where my race win's going to come. I'm going to sit through all the issues I've had. Bathurst is where I'm going to win, and I'm going to do it for my countrymen.
There you go. Well, I'm glad to see him having a nice run here.
He's doing well, and he'll know through not only racing here himself, but obviously from watching a lot of racing at this track, what it takes to do well here. He'll know the little signs. Now, any drivers who've maybe, obviously from the US or Canada, who've never raced at this place or have never seen any racing at this place before, they're the ones at the biggest disadvantage tonight, because they don't know how you need to approach it, and they're not quite sure of, how can they do their best to run around here, across the next sort of, 48 minutes or so to get to the checkered flag.
this is, I remember the first time I raced here. I don't remember what game it was in back, on some PlayStation, Xbox, or something like that way back in the day. But I remember the first time I got on here in iRacing, and it was, an eye-opening experience. It's taken me a lot of laps here to even remotely get around this place decently, and I certainly wouldn't ever claim to actually understand the strategy of racing this place, But I got a question for you, being Australian.
Yes. I was just going to say the strategy is, Jim, keep it out of the wall. That's the strategy.
Well, I got that part. So see there, I'm a strategist. Look at me. I should go to Formula One. So being Australian, is this place like, I don't know, for lack of a better term, godlike when it comes to tracks in Australia? Is this the place?
Yeah, it's the place. It is the top, like, as I said, there's 3 major events that happen here a year.
Right.
And the build up to racing here it's always made to feel special. Now, unfortunately, the Bathurst 1000 has been kind of boring the last few years, especially last year. Last year was probably the most boring 1000 I've ever watched. It was not good. Now, that could come down to the cars. It could just come down to how the race went. Normally, the best racing you ever see here is when the weather has parts play, because it shakes up the whole race and it changes the strategy of a lot of teams. But, like Phillip Island, for example, might be well known because obviously MotoGP run there. A lot of,
to be honest, I had never heard of Phillip Island until it got introduced into iRacing.
Yeah, so like unless you're a MotoGP fan, you probably never heard of it.
Right.
Albert Park's well known because Formula One goes there. A lot of people say they should take Formula One to Bathurst. They should never take it to Bathurst. It is not safe for Formula One.
It's not. Yeah, it's not a Formula One kind of track. That's just not what it is.
Yeah. Like Albert Park, yes, the Grand Prix happens there, but locally it doesn't have as much. Like for local proper motorsport enthusiasts, Albert Park is not within. To speak for my whole country for a moment here, it is not at the level of tracks that are kind of ingrained into supercars fans' minds. Bathurst in Australia is number 1 on a lot of people's lists. Sandown would probably be number 2 because of the Sandown 500 as well. And then Phillip Island or possibly, that's then when you get into more local preferences. Some people may prefer Sydney Motorsport Park. Some may prefer... Actually, no, Adelaide Street Circuit would probably actually surpass Phillip Island in terms of favoritism. A lot of people like Adelaide, myself included. But it is, Jim, if you think of what would be the number 1 favorite track in the US, probably Indianapolis or Daytona.
I would argue probably Daytona, only because you've got the popularity of the sports car. You got the popularity of the Rolex, and you also have the Daytona 500. Whereas Indianapolis is really famous for one race. Yes, they race NASCAR there, but it's the Indy 500. Daytona has 2 of the biggest races in the world at the same track. You know what I mean? So, and they're different kinds of racing. Oh, who is that going around? That's a bad spot.
John Swan.
He
That was John Swan right at the dipper. This is the Daytona of Australia. Like it is. And then Tyler Richard as well up at the cutting into the wall.
Yeah, this place is tough, man. Somebody really just went off there. As the leaders came through and ran somebody off the road.
Jim, it is the Nürburgring, it's the Le Mans, it's the Daytona of Australia. Like it is the number 1. Every other track is based on preference, whether you like it or not. I don't think I've ever met anyone who's a motorsport fan in Australia who does not like Bathurst.
I mean, even if you don't like it from a sense that you don't do well there or something, you've got to respect it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's when you come racing here, you need to bring respect with you to this track. It's the same with the Nürburgring. Like, you race at the Nürburgring, you've got to respect the Nürburgring, and you've got to approach it with not false confidence, but you can't, for a lack of a better term, you can't pussyfoot it around there. Otherwise, you're never going to get fast. You've got to try and push yourself, but you've also got to be, willing to take the time to learn where to push and how to push, as you ride here with Bigot in behind Steiner. I mean, and look, the road just falls away from you into Skyline, like, and as I said, you've got to think corners ahead. You've got to think, where am I going to put the car down at the Dipper, or where am I going to put the car down at Forest Elbow?
That is so true here. Never. I can't think. Whoa, look at that.
He got the run, but he knows there's traffic ahead. Oh, David Steiner must be from Western Australia. He has a Western Australian plate on the back of his car. There we go.
There it is.
Know where David Steiner's from.
This is great.
He is happy just to sit there because he knows they were trying to get past GT4 traffic down the hill. Ryan Cerulik has just extended a bit of a lead here over Cole Malley, who's had a minor off track in the GT4 class as well, but all the pressure at the moment is on this top three as they battle around this circuit. We ride on board with Bigot and with Pino in towards turn 23.
So I was thinking about taking a look at this GT4 AM battle. You got Cerulik obviously in first place. Let's take a ride with Cole Malley here. We'll go on board with Cole. Let me find an onboard camera, and let's take a ride on board with Cole Malley here. Yeah, there he is. Oh my goodness! Bill Nye the Science Guy. Well, there he is.
Oh, my God. What a man.
Cole Malley.
Lab coat, bow tie, ready to teach kids about potato clocks.
That's right. So, for those of you who didn't stick around last week for the interviews, we had a world of fun with Cole, harassing him about, looking like a banker, an accountant, and all that stuff. And, of course, we had called him the substitute chemistry teacher and all that. And so... I requested that he wear a bow tie, and Hamish requested that he wears a lab coat. And so, in good fun, Cole has apparently decided to wear both for us tonight. And I don't care what anybody says, he's driver of the year in my book. This is great. I love it.
That is spectacular stuff.
I love it.
I've also just noticed, Jim, watching him drive across the top, he's got way too much steering angle on that wheel. In game, his wheel is not turning as far as he's actually turning it.
Oh, you see, and I'm just the opposite of that. Like, if you watch me, oh yeah, I have my wheel set to where it never even goes to a 90-degree angle ever.
Yeah, the actual car does not have as big of a steering rack as what he has on his actual rig.
I tell you what, that actually is something that if he looked into changing, could actually make him faster.
It would. Honestly, it would, because
that's
he's probably
catch,
overextending his turn at a lot of these corners, which then obviously affects how fast you can switch back to turn the other way.
Right.
So, looking at how he's steering... Let's watch him through turn 2, because realistically, you should not be hand over hand through turn 2.
You absolutely should not.
Yeah, that's probably that's roughly.
That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. To be honest,
no, it wasn't too bad. The main corner we need to watch is probably this one here, actually, at the cutting, because it's.
He's close. It's not as bad as I thought it was.
No,
but I run way less than that. People look at mine and go, how do you drive it like that?
Normally I drive, I think 575
and I run
degrees.
I run like 680.
Yeah, it's the steering rack that I normally run is nowhere near as overextended as that. Basically because the only race I do every year is Daytona and Watkins. I don't need any more than what that is. When I do the Raw or when I do the 6 hour, don't need too much steering rack angle on it. At this stage, though, Pino has managed to now start to break away here from David Steiner as they've caught GT4 traffic at the wrong time through the dipper, and that has held up both Steiner and Biggett. It's now allowed Pino to break away from the tow range of them. So now Steiner and Biggett have to use their lap pace to catch up to Pino, who's going to get past the GT4 driver of Cole Malley, who we just had on screen. As they run through the chase.
Yeah, that worked in Pino's favor for sure there. He had a nice break on that traffic. He caught it at the right time. And, that's how traffic goes at these kind of places.
But he could catch it at the wrong time as well.
Sure.
And it could be later in the race.
Well, we witnessed that at Daytona this year with those two racing, Pino and Biggett racing each other. 1 minute, Pino catches traffic on one lap. The next lap, Nathan caught it. And you think it's over for a guy. Oh, look, he's fixing to make a run here. Is he going to send it? No, he didn't send it. I thought he was going to shoot it up the inside there. I don't think Nathan's worried about that right now. He knows you're not winning the race on lap 12. I tell you what, I don't mean to insult anyone, but to my surprise, these guys are taking it a lot easier than I thought they would today. I really thought there'd be more.
I feel, Jim, they may have actually listened to our words of wisdom last week of you need to bring patience to the mountain.
Maybe.
And maybe there was a bit of a pre-race briefing of let's just cool our jets a little bit, possibly. As Tyler Richard has now exited pit lane again, he's now having to traverse through the GT3 or GT4 traffic as Lake and Shaw has just had a moment at it. The track is jammed.
Oh my God, that's a big one.
Up at turn 5. That is a massive incident with Lake and Shaw and Justin Bock.
I'll pull it up on the big screen. You keep something on the little one because that's a big one.
It is that there is multiple cars involved.
Yeah. So was Justin Bock involved in it?
It was. Yeah. So if you click on the first Lake and Shaw crash, that'll show us the start of the domino effect that has just occurred.
I was going to go right before that, which was the Justin Bock part. But is that not it?
Yeah. This is way earlier. He's just had an off track.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is it here. So as Shaw comes round, he loses it. Right there in the middle of the road, not holding his brakes, and tries to go straight away.
That's what you can't do.
And that there is on Lake and Shaw.
Oh, absolutely.
You do not do that across the top of the mountain. I know you want to try and get out of people's way, but it is better that you hold your brakes because they're coming around a blind corner and they can at least have time to react. Doesn't matter if they hit you if you're sitting there. That's fine. If you're sitting stationary, that's on them. They've got to avoid you. They can't avoid a car that's moving in front of them. It's impossible. So,
that right there is inexperience at the mount. That's what it is. That's just you've got to learn that somewhere. We've all done it somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
And you just got to learn. And when you've hit hard, probably better just to tow. In that spot,
if you're in a series which allows you to tow straight back to pits, now there are some leagues which require you to request a tow to race control. That's fine. If you're in a series which allows you to tow, just tow. It's like, if your car has been destroyed on the top, there's no point trying to get it back to pit lane.
Right.
Your race is already done at that point because it's going to take you 5 minutes to get back to pit lane if you try and drive it back.
Yeah.
Just tow back and take the tow time. It's a lot easier.
Not to mention the incident points you're going to rack up bouncing off the walls trying to drive a car. Trying to drive a broken car down the mountain.
Yeah. Unfortunately, at that point, you've got to take a breath and just admit that the mountain has claimed you at that stage.
That's Mount Panorama in a nutshell, right there.
It really is.
I mean, it really.
Jed Cotterman and Scott Patron. I don't know about going for the move there on the GT4 car. That was probably not the best spot to go for.
Was that Jed?
Park. That was Jed and Scott. They both came past him up in towards Reed Park, and they both kind of clipped the wall as they came through. It was not a spot to do it, if you ask me. There's also been a change of position for P2 through all this as well. Nathan Biggett has made his way past David Steiner as we were breaking down that incident with Lake and Shaw and Justin Bock. The mountain claims victims as we continue along. We're only 3 minutes away from the halfway point of this race.
So here's how Nathan did it. Let's get
it would have been down into the chase, I would say, or down Conrod Straight. It was indeed. Got the run. He'd been getting the run the last few laps on him out of Forest Elbow, and I think he's just getting the drive out of the corner better than what David has been getting himself. So,
you know,
it might have more top end.
The one thing I see with Steiner here, I think he's really comfortable here. You know, at some tracks that would put you into a tizzy, so to speak. That might be an American word, I don't know, but it's probably an old person word actually. You know, but you get all rattled by that, and next thing you know, you'd be trying to get it right back. But you could see Steiner. He just took that calmly. You could see it in the way his car was behaving. He's like, no problem. You know, I got pace. I got pace here. I know this place, and you could just see that in him, and that's, you know, Steiner's had some great moments throughout the season, and stuff we've been watching him in, but it's good to see him comfortable like that here. I was really excited when I saw him up there.
Sorry to cut you off, Jim. When we head back to live, you'll see that Steiner and Biggett have actually now caught back up a little bit to Daniel Pino, but through all of that, Lakenshaw has made yet another, can only be described as rookie mistake on the mountain as he's approached the rear of a GT4 car. As he comes up the hill through turn 3 and 4, he's following the GT4, which cannot carry as much pace through these corners. He's gone full bore. As he's come up, the GT4's moved over on him, and then he's ran straight into the rear of that car. I think both of them have probably got a bit of a part to play on that one, but again, it comes down to not watching your relative and just not taking caution, because arguably Lakin didn't need to be pinned. Yeah, he didn't need to be pinned through there.
No.
And the GT4 probably wasn't quite as aware that he was right there. As Pino's into pit lane. So the Merc is in, Steiner's in as well. Biggett's gone for another lap.
Right at the halfway point, pretty much, Daniel decided to come in there. And Nathan's going to stretch it out, which is not uncommon for Nathan. Actually, he runs the tank pretty dry on this.
Works well for him as well, because if we now go an extra lap at the end of this race,
yes, he's going to
be in the beneficiary position.
He's in a wide open, no pressure, can just crank out a fast lap here with the car light, no fuel in the car. It's a great way to turn a fast lap, and it's certainly a potential of overcutting a little bit on time on these guys.
Yeah. Bajole in, Cotterman in, Clodden in as well.
I would think Biggett's coming this lap, but you never know. He has been known to stretch it out a little bit.
Well, he could have been saving some fuel as he was running around. Just gets past Ryan Cerulik across the top of the hill. That's not even Ryan, actually. It was one of the GT4s. It wasn't even Tyler Hammond.
It was him.
Was it? Felix Collette. It was Felix Collette. That was who it was that he got past. So, Ryan, though, Nathan, on his way.
I mean, Nathan just put Sector 2 was the purple sector, fastest Sector 2 of the race so far on this lap.
Well, he's got no one around him. And now the main issue is, for Daniel Pino, he's catching GT3 traffic of drivers who just seem to not be confident around here.
Sure, plenty of that.
It's a tough track to be confident. And again, you can't bring overconfidence here. You've got to be, a little bit subdued. But, practice makes perfect, or at least, makes you feel like you're perfect.
Oh, I'd easily be 4 or 5 seconds off the pace here.
I don't know.
I would be.
Oh, Steiner,
who
was trying to get past the GT3 car of Cole Malley, has just had to traverse off the road there up at the Esses. Let's pull the old switcheroos. Just go back. Biggett's into pit lane.
So what? Okay, he had to take. Oh, there's an alternate route there. Oh,
so he's trying to come past.
Oh, they hit.
I mean, to be fair to Malley, he doesn't have to let him go there. Steiner. That's probably the one mistake of the whole race Steiner's made. I know he wants to try and stay ahead of Biggett.
Can you do that one more time from Steiner's point of view? Oh, you know what? I wish I could find that, but I don't think I'm going to be able to find it.
Well, there was no off-track recorded for me. But what I can do is I can find.
Because I was going to use I was going to use the pivot camera if I could, and show it where I could turn it and show to the side a little bit, but I
well, Nathan Biggett has exited pit lane in the lead of this race ahead of Daniel Pino. He's taken 2 seconds less fuel, and he's got a 5-second gap over Pino now. So now it's crunch time for Pino. That traffic held him up across the top of the mountain.
Yep.
Steiner, well and truly was held up because he had to try and get past the GT4 traffic. But again, there was nothing wrong with what Cole Malley did. That was not on him. That was on Steiner. He was impatient, and he wanted to get past to try and keep within the hunt of Pino, and it cost him time by having to do it at the Esses, and it just hasn't worked.
Yeah, I'm pausing just because I don't know. I don't know what to say. I can't think if I am Steiner that was a wise place to try to make that move. It wasn't,
but he didn't. He obviously, in the split second, he thought he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to get stuck behind because he knows that if he doesn't go for the move there, he can't get past Cole.
He didn't get a slowdown for that.
No, he didn't. No,
so if you look at it from that perspective, short of them touching each other, him cutting that corner to get around the slower traffic.
Yeah.
Maybe not the dumbest move in the world. He didn't get a slowdown. He didn't get it, So
I'm just riding on board with him as he came out of pit lane. So he was stuck behind Cole.
Yeah.
Up through.
I see his frustration. I get that, I get it.
Yeah, I suppose so. The one thing I would say is Cole could have just moved over on him and let him go through.
Yes.
Like that would have been the nicer decision. And obviously he's getting frustrated because he's being held up.
Yes.
So he looks to go for it into Skyline, doesn't get it under brakes, makes contact, and has to traverse straight across the S's. So, I think they both have a part to play there. Cole could have been nice and let him go.
Yes.
But he also doesn't have there's no right to Steiner that says Cole should let him go past. Like, there's nothing that says he needs to move over for him.
No, I agree 100%. So, he was certainly well within his right to do that.
Yeah.
So that's fine. And I get Steiner's frustration, because he's fast. He's got some pace here, and he wants to take advantage and use that. And to be held up the entire cycle through the mountain is kind of rough,
No, it is. It is. And he caught him at the worst time.
Yes.
He really did. And it's, the real life 12-hour, they don't run GT4s. At least I don't think they do. They might. I don't know.
No, but they have run GT Challenge here before, too.
They have. Well, the Intercontinental GT Challenge runs during the 12-hour. Like, the 12-hour is a part of the Intercontinental GT Challenge, but, it's, it's obviously, it's a tough place to go multi-class racing. They do it every year at the Liqui Moly 6-hour, but, you just caught him at the wrong time.
The 12-hour is not multi-class.
Yeah, I don't think so. Let me have a look.
I thought it was like almost like touring cars. I could have
GTs.
But I thought it was like GTs and touring cars or something.
I'll tell you exactly.
I might be completely off base. By the way, is it just me, or did Jed Cotterman look like he added some dramatic lighting in his rig there? Like
I think he has, honestly.
He has added some. He's got the lights off behind him. He's got the dramatic lighting going on.
Just to confirm, so it is multi-class. They do have GT4s that run. There weren't many that ran this year, Jim.
Okay. So that was
there were 3 that ran this year.
Oh, yeah.
And a singular.
We got more than
KTM,
that out of the race.
Yeah, and a singular KTM Crossbow GT2 car as an invitation entry. Everyone else is GT3 from 2025. So it is multi-class, but there's 3. There was 3 of them this year for the GT4. Blake and Shuai's got into the chat, said 100% inexperience in the mountain, as well as a car that I'm not used to anymore. So good self-reflection there from Lake.
Sure.
Fair play. We were, I don't know if we claim we were harsh, Jim, but definitely.
No, I don't think so. I mean, just
but
real.
definitely, you know,
Just real.
yeah,
Look,
just real.
I've done it.
Called it what it was.
I've done it. Carlos, who is the, kind of head of whole High Point League, he did it to me in a GT3 race here. He got sideways on the mountain, tried to throw it into reverse, and I plowed into him coming around a blind corner. I mean, we've all done it. Every one of us has done it, and some of us it works out and we get away with it, but in that case it didn't. I mean, it's a learning experience. He'll handle it different next time he gets sideways on the mountain, So
some of us, Jim, get the sunlight in our eyes in the final stint of the 12-hour and plow it into the wall.
Yeah, well, that could happen too. This place does have a brutal sunset, sunrise.
The sunset is horrible. You come around right here and up towards Skyline, and it's just sunlight. You see nothing. And you've got to do that for every... Oh, it's Scott Patron. Sorry, he's just gone into the wall. Right.
Oh, he towed too.
Yeah, he did. He towed straight back.
So Culloden passed him, and was there a problem? I mean...
No. So he came down the hill. He got loose and just went straight into the wall.
Oh, and
so he took too much curb at turn 12 and unsettled the car and then straight into the barrier. So there's nothing he can do. He took too much.
So our leaders have really spaced out now.
Well, it often happens, Jim, around here. It's an often occurrence at Bathurst.
Do they tend to come back together towards the end, or is it
they
not as much?
But it's not. No, normally it requires a safety car for that to happen, or for someone to catch traffic at the wrong time every single lap. So for Bigot, for example, now you see there he's just pushed it straight past the Merc.
Yeah.
But to be fair, the Merc gave him room.
Yes.
So that allowed him past. David Steiner unfortunately did not get that luxury quite a few laps ago.
He did not have that courtesy. Yeah.
But, catching traffic at the top is going to cost you time. For Nathan, he'll be very patient about this now. What he needs to do is damage limit his race. He cannot make a mistake. He makes a mistake and he starts to take it easy. That's when he'll drop time, and that's when he'll get under pressure from Daniel Pino. So he needs to keep this race as tidy as possible.
We're essentially got 20 minutes left. And so, there's some time for something to happen, so we'll see. But, I was thinking...
there's always time. We could get to the last lap, Jim, and Bigot can make a mistake.
Sure. It
can happen at any point.
We've seen it happen recently in the past few weeks, Jed
Cotterman, sorry, Jim, to cut you off, has just gotten real loose up at McPhillamy Park and has gone off the road and into the sand trap. And as that happened, Bigot went off at the chase as well. So let's watch this back from both sides of the coins. This was Bigot's off track down at the chase under brakes. I think he's just ran wide.
Yeah.
Hasn't quite made the corner. Yeah, exactly. It was minor.
No.
I thought it might have been a bit worse than that, but maybe not. And then this was Jed. This was wild for him. I saw him get loose, Jim, as he came just past the grate. You'll watch the rear. Yeah, see there, little wiggle. And he has to then reset. That's then ruined his rhythm. Rear end's gone round and straight off into the sand barrier or sand trap and into the barrier off the exit of the road.
Ouch.
And that there, and look at the debris that's just brought onto the road as well. We just saw it. So there's now debris at the top of the mountain, which is dangerous for the whole field, not just for GT4s and GT3s. Anyone could catch that now.
Yeah, that's going to be, it'll take a couple of laps or
look at that. It's right on the racing line.
It sure is.
It is right on the racing line. So
luckily it's not in
issues.
Luckily it's not in a high side lateral force type situation.
No, but it is right in the braking zone. So if someone tries to brake late through there, right on the marbles, they could end up getting into all sorts of issues down the down and towards Skyline.
Yeah, that's we'll have to see how that plays out. Hopefully it won't be anything that jeopardizes anybody's race or anything. So while we've got a second here, everybody's kind of spread out a little bit. Let's gonna run through and give the guys a little TV time who have taken the time to put their cameras on and give us a little view and insight into their into their racing rig and their sim rooms and whatnot. So this is on board here with Steven Smith. It looks like he's got I wonder if he's just wearing belts, or I would think that's probably a belt tensioner setup, which is
Say
cool.
so.
I've wanted to try one of those, unless I don't think that's suspenders. No, that's belts for sure.
They are thick ass suspenders, Jim. If they are suspenders, like they are
some thick ass.
They are the championship belt of suspenders, Jim. If that's what he's got
that's right.
to keep his. How heavy are his pants? If he needs snap straps to hold them up.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I wonder if that's a tensioner system he's running, because that's pretty cool. I've always wanted to try one of them. They say they definitely add a layer of realism. He must be watching the feed. He's glancing over now, and he ran off track there, so we probably cursed him a little bit, talking about his fat ass pants and his big suspenders and stuff.
I wonder if he's got them fishing shorts on, Jim, with all of his bait and tackle in the side pockets, and that's what's holding it up.
All right, could have a set of rubbers on, like fishing rubbers, or what, I don't know what they call them over there, but
I was about to say, Jim, don't say rubbers whilst we're at Bathurst. It means a completely different thing here.
Well, I mean, rubbers means condoms as well in the United States, but but also they're like waders. They're like chest high.
Yeah.
Water protective.
Yeah, wear it as you go walking through the bayou, Jim, trying to catch some
that's exactly what they're used for. That's exactly what they're used for from where I'm from. But they're also used on like fishing and crabbing boats for the guys to stay dry when they're slinging all that stuff around and whatnot. Yeah. So, but anyway, we've ragged on Steven's belt tensioner suspenders long enough.
I tell you what, Jim, I am very impressed tonight with Edward Delano.
I know, right?
Pole position.
I know.
In the GT4 rookie class.
I almost
still
didn't
leading.
even want to go to him because I didn't want to jinx it. But since you said it, we'll go down and click on him. Well, you already got him. Yeah, he's running a new livery tonight too. He got a new car.
Yeah.
He's in the BMW, where he was running the.
He was previously running the BMW. He runs the GT3 Mustang on
Mustang. That's okay. In the other series.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. My bad. Yes.
Liam's asking what happened to Daniel. He lost time in the pits, and then on his out lap, he got caught up in traffic.
Yeah, he pretty much
lost him time.
He pretty much got pit. Nathan put a little pit strategy on him and ran an extra lap, free and clear of any traffic on a light fuel load, and put a couple seconds on him, and he's struggling to make that up.
The issue now is for Daniel, he's running a 2:07 on that last lap. Bigot's run a 2:05.3, so he's just gained 2 seconds across that lap. So I'd say that Daniel probably caught a bit of traffic as well on that lap, which may have held him up a little bit.
Yeah, probably so. All right, so let's see. Now let's see who else we got. Well, let's go back.
Carlos has apparently texted you, Jim. Oh, it's right here. Let's have a look.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I will say, though, at the moment, I think, we've only got 2 rounds to go after tonight, Jim. The actual Pro Championship will be decided tonight. Or at least next week, because Bigot could actually win the championship next week for the GT3 portion. He's currently
confused what he means by that.
467 points. I'd say maybe because the championship will be decided next week. Quite possibly, because Bigot is on 467 points ahead of Justin Bach.
No, I don't think that's what he means, but
I don't know. I'm not sure.
He says he's talking about giveaway for the next race.
I'm not sure.
I'm not either, unless he's talking about the my brain. The
it's not about the IMSA series.
Digital race engineer. Unless he's
Jim,
talking
why
about.
don't you give us a little rundown of DRE and how that could have helped some of the drivers here tonight at Bathurst?
Well, it certainly, in a lot of ways it could have helped. One of the things I want to first, I want to let everybody know that I've posted a link to a video in the chat that shows the owner of the company going through just a very few of the features and how to set up the voice commands. So the entire car is controllable by voice command. And so it just every adjustment, everything that you can do, every black box adjustment, you don't have to touch anything. You can do it all by voice command. But one of the big things about Digital Race Engineer is their fuel calculations. In a situation, for example, did Pino take too much fuel? Did he possibly get a couple of gallons or liters too much fuel, which cost him a couple of seconds in the pits? Compared to what most people run, which is crew chief, it's not even close. And something I wanted to touch on, because today I was doing a Le Mans Ultimate race, and just to let people know, if you into other sims like Le Mans Ultimate and whatnot, Assetto Corsa Competizione is already supported by Digital Race Engineer, and Le Mans Ultimate is in beta testing for Le Mans Ultimate. I just found that out the other day when he sent me a link to start trying it. But so I was listening to Crew Chief today, and if anybody uses Crew Chief, how you get these random stupid calls by the spotter where they'll tell you a car is on the side of you when there's no car there. And it actually caused me to make an error because I thought that I didn't see somebody dive bombing me. And so I reacted to the bad spotter call. There was no car there. And it actually caused me to, bump the wall a little bit. So the spotter situation in there is so much better as well. But, as situations arise, I'm going to start trying to touch on some of the features. I really encourage people, go try the free version of it. It's so good. It takes a little bit to get set up. You have to bind all those voice commands to what you want them to do, but once you get it set up, it is just absolutely amazing. You just ride around and click your mic button, set up a mic button for it, and you're good to go.
Now, can you do it, Jim? So you can set it up so it will recognize that you want it to add fuel, but you can specify the amount of liters you want it to add?
Yes, it will tell you what it thinks you need, and you can adjust that. So if it tells you're going to need 15 liters of fuel to finish the race, and you want to build a safety into that, you can manually override it by just simply clicking your mic button and say, add 17 liters of fuel. And there's probably other voice commands where you can probably tell it to add half a lap of fuel or whatever. I'm sure there are, because there's a ton of commands. And one of the nice features in there is in the list of commands, there's 6 or 7 different commands that work for every action, but you don't have to remember them all. You just have to remember, but they're, like you can say, how's my fuel, or do I have enough fuel, or how much fuel do I have left? And, there's 15 different ways to ask it, do you have enough fuel? And it recognizes, so it's not one rehearsed line that you have to remember for a voice command. It's intuitive to a variety of ways of speaking. And it's also in multiple languages. Not that we have a lot of multiple language people here. We probably have a few. But it's also available in 9 or 12 different languages or something. But anyway, so yes, you can. You can easily manually override it and tell it you want to add a little more or take a little more out or whatever. But in my experience, it really hasn't. I've never seen it miss by much. There are situations that if you were under driving the car early in the race, but it's even intuitive to that. Like if you were kind of saving early in the race, it seems to know that,
Well, Jim.
Yep.
As amazing as DRE sounds, Stephen Smith.
Oh my
into
God!
Turn 2 wasn't completely committed to the move on David Stein. On Tristan Richard.
Oh, and
look at that!
See it in
head
his
in
face.
his hands. He knew. He knew as soon as it happened.
Here, let's pull it up. Golly.
Yeah, I'll pull it up. We'll keep it on there.
I got it. I'm already there. Oh man.
Was not committed, too far back to go for the dive.
Yep.
And there you see it. He wasn't close enough, and he knows. He knows as well.
Yeah, he knew it. That's just the
point I was about to make was we've also lost Jed Cotterman and Scott Petrone to a couple of incidents as well.
Yeah,
I showed Jed's before at turn 3-4, but Scott's also done the same thing. So he's come up through the cutting, gotten it loose mid-corner, and straight into the barrier.
Ouch.
And
well, to be fair, we're down to 7 minutes left in this race. There's a level of fatigue that kicks in too, mental fatigue. You've been pressing hard here. That kind of stuff bites you. And, tires are getting a little worn. Oh, my goodness, look at that.
He had 2 in the same lap, and then at that point he realized he's got no rear wing and he's had to tow it back to pits. So some big losses for this race. We are down to crunch time for the drivers that are left running. Cerulean has got a 20-second gap over Cole Malley at the moment, so he looks to wrap up that GT4 race win here tonight for the AM class.
Culloden has got a meatball.
I'm not surprised. He was put into the wall by Stephen Smith.
Did we see that?
Yeah, that was the move at turn 2.
That was Culloden he hit.
Yeah, he hit Culloden.
Oh,
so
man.
It wasn't Richard, it was Culloden.
Okay,
There's so many McLarens out there, Jim. I just had to pick one, and I picked the wrong one.
Yeah, you think that's bad? You ought to see the Tuesday night series I do. It's McLarens only.
Oh. What time?
Yeah, I know, right? That's actually a cool series, but it's all McLarens.
So Nathan Biggett,
so we got a bunch of guys here in the pits.
5 minutes away from. Well, he's not going to wrap up the championship tonight, but he will wrap it up next week. He is 467 points ahead of Justin Bock in the championship standings at the moment. If he wanted to win it tonight, he needed to be 730 points ahead of him, and he would have wrapped it up. So he'll have to race one more week before he's crowned the champion.
Okay. So Carlos tried to help me. The winner of next week's race, not the overall champion, but apparently the winner of next week's race, I believe, is they're going to be giving away a livery, free livery from one of our sponsors, one of their the sponsors, and I'm horrible with that. But if I'm incorrect, Carlos, we've got a little time left. Come pop into the broadcast booth and clarify it for me, because to be honest with you, I'm old and I don't remember all the details. I remember that was one of the things that was happening, but oh my goodness, who is that there? Is that Cotterman?
Jed. That was Jed again.
Oh, he's pushing now.
Straight into the wall at turn 2, and his car has been into pit lane quite a few times to this point of the race.
So this is Lance Campbell here and Delano. It is a battle in GT4, but it is not a battle in class, so to speak.
Oh, that car has got heavy damage on the front of it.
Tore up. It is tore up. Lance's car is tore up. I mean, I got to give him credit. He's still running pretty decent, considering he has no aero on the front whatsoever. He's got good cooling though on his brakes.
Maybe too much cooling?
Yeah, maybe.
Not direct enough?
So this is, I mean, look, I mean, he's giving it hell, man.
I mean, Delano doesn't need to battle him.
No,
you know, he's just risking his race at this point.
Right.
But,
If I'm Edward,
force him on the outside at turn 2 is like, well, if you want it, you're going to have to take it.
Yeah, well,
So,
you know, I want to see nothing against anybody else in class, but I want to see, you know, Edward get that win.
P2 in his class has just been passed by Caffrey and Bajole down at turn 1. So that's the gap that is currently between Delano and Aiden Kiley in their battle for the GT4 rookie win tonight.
It's like a
minute. Smacking the wall was Lance Campbell just there up at the grate. Ran it a little bit too wide and put it into the wall, but he is still going, Jim, on your screen. So
well, clearly that you know, that old car can take a beating, obviously.
That's bumper car derby in Aston Martins, apparently. We've got 1.5 minutes left to run, and the race leader is just coming down towards Forest Elbow now. So Nathan Biggett has got, well, it should be 1 to go when he crosses the line. So we will go an extra lap here, Jim. As Christopher Coy has just had an incident down at the Dipper, and that car is the wrong way around.
It happened right as Carlos went by. Watch this. I mean, Carlos, as Daniel went by. Wrong view for this. Well, because I clicked. Yeah, I clicked to. I clicked on Daniel right as he was sitting there. There goes Bajole.
Bajole, Caffrey.
He's just knocking parts off the car sitting there. That was. All right.
It's not a good look for him. When we head back to live,
we should do that.
We'll see, Jim, that Biggett is now heading up towards turn 1. So 1 lap to go for Nathan Biggett. Daniel Pino has just traversed the final corner.
Crossing the line right now. So you can see there as Nathan comes up the straight, you can see Daniel back in the just surrounding turn 1 back there. So there's a big gap as Nathan is approaching Campbell here. Missing a few body parts.
Just hopped into the interview room early, but I don't know if he actually realizes that he's not about to catch the checkered flag. He's about to catch the white flag because the race leader's only just caught the white flag, as the traffic is going to have a part to play now in Nathan Biggett's traverse.
I hope he doesn't park it or something stupid. You know, that happened to Martin in NASCAR one time. He thought he took the checker, and he pulled it into the pits and parked it, lost the race.
I think he's going for one more because he's just probably seen that he has the white flag at this stage. Biggett, though, is on his way to a race win, and it's a very impressive race win as well. He did it in the pit lane. It can arguably be said. Malley, P2. Unfortunately, we don't get a chance to talk to Bill Nye, the science guy, tonight.
I know, right? I wanted to break the rule for that just because, but we got
to be fair.
No, I know we've done it before, so we can't. But yeah, well, he's still he deserves all the credit for being cool and doing that. Where is Aiden? He's running second. We've given him no TV time tonight at all.
We haven't, but unfortunately, Biggett's about to get to the race win as he enters towards the final corner. Nathan Biggett will take the race win for the GT3 Pro Class this evening by 10.9 seconds over Daniel Pino. Dominant fashion. Ironically, Jim, that livery on Biggett's car was the promotional livery that they used for the Gen 3 Mustang for supercars. And he's won it at Bathurst in that Mustang for the GT3. Steiner will finish P3. Bajole P4. Caffrey will win the Pro-Am class at his home race this season convincingly. Tristan Richard will finish in behind them. Ryan Cerulik has got a bit of time to go before he gets to the race-winning position
So
for the GT4 AM class. There's been contact after the race, Jim. Sorry. No, it's fine. I was about to say it's after the race. That's okay. Edward Delano has taken the win for the GT3 rookie class.
Good for him. All right, so I'm giving Aiden Kiley a little TV time because he put his camera up tonight, and we didn't talk about him all night. He did finish second in the GT4 rookie class, which is a great finish. And
it's a very good finish. He survived the whole race. That's a win in my book, Jim. You survived the race without being in pit lane more than once. You've done a good job.
He had no incidents, so we never got to click on him because he had no incidents.
Well, you know, that's the classic thing I often say, Jim, is you want to guarantee getting on the broadcast, get into a battle, or get into an incident.
That's right.
You are guaranteed to get onto the broadcast as Cerulean pulls up after his race win in the GT4 AM class.
I will say that if you do post your camera and I see it, I will try to get you on camera for that as well. That way you don't have to have an incident, or you can get into a battle. That's okay. But tonight was great. I think we got exactly what Mount Panorama offers, which is it's a great track to drive around, but it's a tough place to pass, and there's not a lot of passing. What you get here is you get a lot of incidents where people struggle. It's a fight with the mountain, not a fight amongst drivers sometimes.
Yeah.
That would be my assessment, by the way. Well, the results are up, so let's go ahead and pull those up. That's a beautiful shot right there, though, looking down. What's the name of that straightaway?
That's Mountain Straight.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Conrod Straight is the one in the lead up towards the chase. So as they finished, only 7 cars finished on the lead lap here this evening. Nathan Biggett takes the win ahead of Daniel Pino, David Steiner, Ryan Bijole for the top 4. Michael Caffrey wins for the GT3 Pro-Am class. Tristan Richard, Justin Bock overall finished behind him. Marc Ogier finishes a lap down. Actually, it was only 6 cars on the lead lap, Jim. Sorry. Marc Ogier finishes a lap down, though. P2 in the Pro-Am class night ahead of Tristan Richard. Kenneth Clodden comes home P3 for the GT3 Pro-Am class. Ryan Cerulean wins it for the GT4s overall, ahead of Cole Malley and Tyler Hammond on the AM podium alongside him. Campbell ahead of Edward Delano. Our GT4 rookie class winner here this evening, ahead of Aiden Kiley in P2 with Daniel Nans off the back of them. Stephen Smith head in his hands earlier on after contact at turn 2. He finishes just ahead of Jed Cotterman with Christopher Coy, the last of the GT4 rookies on the podium here tonight. Here there was only 3 runners for the whole race. Carlos Sierra did not make it very far on lap 1 before getting out of it. And then it was Scott Petrone, Felix Collette, Brian Scott, Shelby Huff, Lakenshaw, Patrick Rich, John Swan, and Carlos Sierra and James Leneven never really got started, and Liam Habul never started this race here this evening. So 29 cars gridded up. Only, how many of them finished, Jim? It would have been maybe 20 of them finished the race.
Well, that's Mount Panorama. Again, it's not necessarily always a battle with the cars here. It's to me, really, the drama of this place is driver versus mountain. It really is. Yep. It really is. And you really need to appreciate it for that as a spectator.
Oh, you do.
And as a driver. It is about your battle with the mountain and can you survive? And the longer the races are, the more grueling this place gets, so.
Exactly right. We'll start tonight's discussions with our GT4 rookie winner here this evening, Edward Delano, as we get the B-roll happening in a moment for you as well.
Yep. So excited for him.
Well, that's about as much as we can describe your race tonight, Ed. Phenomenal effort. P1 on the road, I think, for the first time this season, if I'm correct. Congratulations. You have tamed the mountain, and the mountain has selected you as its race winner. You also start a pole position tonight as well, so you've gone from pole to win in a fantastic effort on board your GT4 BMW here this evening. So congratulations.
Thank you, guys. I've always loved Bathurst. Probably my favorite track ever in any video game or sim. So try to do my best. I did hit the wall a few times, but I didn't mess up my car, so I'm all right.
I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen anyone not hit a wall in their
Yeah.
run for a race win, even if it's just a little scratch.
Yeah.
You know, you're scratching and clawing your way to a win. You drove a relatively smart race, though. Drove very well. How was the traffic for you, especially across the top of the mountain? We saw some interesting moments between both the car classes tonight, where there were some avoidable incidents where drivers probably could have just been a little bit more patient, or on the other side of the coin, the GT4 could have just given them a bit more room and let them go. How was it for you, though, on board your car tonight?
They were all the GT3s were that I came across, or came across me, I should say, were very cautious. They had patience, for me at least. I know Kenneth was behind me at one time. Kenneth is fast. He waited up. He didn't try to push, But for others, I'm sure it wasn't the same.
So who's got the voice mod box on? One of y'all does.
I don't.
Oh yeah. Well, because Edward, you sound like you have one of those voice changers on. Is that what you?
No.
That's
just
weird.
My regular voice.
Oh well, you'll hear it when you listen back to the.
Sounds regular to me. Ed sounds regular to me. So
does he? Okay,
yeah.
maybe it's just me then. Yeah, it could be like water in my ears, or my brain is sloshing around or something. But look, man, I just want to tell you congratulations. We've given you a lot of shit over the season in different classes, and we've shown a lot of your wrecks and spins and have fun at your expense. And of course, we talk about your liveries because we love your Mustang livery in the other series. But congratulations, man! This was a well-earned victory for you. You can see you put in the work this season, and it's paying off, and that's really cool for you.
I appreciate you guys, man. It was a really fun one. It's been a hard season, and definitely needed a win.
Well, Ed, thank you so much for coming over to chat to us. Let us know anyone you want to give a shout out to. And for myself and Jim, congrats on the win, and congrats on taming the mountain as well. Very good effort.
Let's give a shout out to Liam Habul. He knows this track better than everybody. He definitely helped me out. So,
well, there you go.
Best of luck next week out at Monza, Ed, and thanks so much for coming over to chat to us. We'll see if the Temple of Speed can go your way as well.
Heck yeah, man. Thank y'all.
No worries. Thank you. Next up, we have our GT4M winner here this evening. I think 2 weeks in a row at this stage. It's Ryan Cerulik. Ryan, congratulations. Race win for yourself here tonight at the mountain. You managed to tame it. You had a good close battle with Cole for a little while there until you extended out the lead. How was that race for you, and how was traversing the traffic across the top of the mountain for you as well?
Yeah, it was really good. Being the slower class, you just gotta sometimes move over, take the 2 seconds, and let them by so you don't have anything bad happen to you. But in regards to Cole, he drove great. I think him and Lance were honestly faster than me and overall, but I was faster, or not faster, but I was fast in the parts where it mattered, and the dirty air going up the hill definitely helped me out a little bit.
Now, how did you find your preparations for this race this evening, across the week of getting ready for this race? Were you, you obviously brought somewhat of a conservative mentality into it of, as you just said, sometimes you just need to move over, let the car past you, and just try and survive. Was that your whole week of preparation, was getting ready for that? Or was it get up to pace and then try and sort out the consistency so you could still run at good pace, but actually stay safe out, obviously, especially across the top of the mountain where it's pretty hard to make overtakes. And unless someone gives it to you, you've got to just be patient behind them.
I mean, my whole idea was if I could get into the lead early, which I did because Cole made a mistake on that start. Just keep it consistent. I don't have to do any complete flyers, especially after I started losing 3 and 4. I could defend if I needed to, but again, the dirty air was super helpful. And as long as I kept it out of the wall, I would have been okay. Preparation wise, I really only got today because I finally put in that new graphics card that I was talking to you about last week.
Well, there you go.
I'm running more than 45 FPS this time.
The games look so much better when you do that.
Oh, I know. It's like it's not a PowerPoint.
Well, that certainly helped your speed. It looks like you definitely had a good night tonight, and pretty convincing victory. I guess 20 seconds or so. That's pretty impressive. So congratulations again. You got anybody you want to shout out to while we got you in here?
No, but I do have a question. Y'all know what happened to Lance?
How about Lance Campbell?
Yeah, he was running with Cole, and then he fell really far back.
I believe he got involved in an incident.
I don't know. We didn't actually catch the incident, but we did catch up with his car later in the race, and the front end was knocked completely off.
Ooh. Okay.
So I don't know what caused the incident, but like I said, later we caught up where he and Edward Delano were kind of battling, and he had the entire front bumper and all was knocked completely off the car.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
because he was running quick. He had fastest lap by I think 3/10 at the start.
Oh, yeah. So we're not sure actually what did happen to him, but yeah, he so I guess he brought it home in fourth overall, or fourth in class. So not bad considering the way the car looked. It was pretty bad. So all right, man. Well, congratulations again, and hopefully we'll talk to you again next week.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
All right.
And finally, here this evening, we have our race winner overall for the GT3 Pro Class and the champion-elect. All he needs to do next week is finish the race and score some points, and he will be our champion. It is Nathan Biggett. Nathan, congratulations. Race win on the board tonight. Means that you just have to walk into Monza next week, score some points, and you should be crowned the champion, barring any points penalties, of course. But even then, you'd have to really lose your mentality next week to score to get enough penalties that it would take you out of the championship lead. But you came into tonight 467 points in the lead. You went full points to the end, and now you sit very, very pretty going into next week.
Well, that's good to know, because it was definitely a redemption night after what happened last week. Knew that I wanted to keep it a little bit cleaner, give some more room. Was happy to. The strategy actually was at the beginning of the race when I messed up qualifying. I was like, all right, I'm going to just save fuel and try to beat him on pit road. And I think that was the best strategy, especially for this track. I think it would have ended up a lot like last week at Road Atlanta where me and Pino got together. You know, it's just some of these tracks it's tough to pass at. So it made it a lot easier getting it done on pit road, and just happy to come away with the win and no controversy, not getting into people. You know, I felt bad about last week, so it was definitely some redemption. Just a great overall night.
Well, it wasn't just pit lane that helped you. When Pino came in the lap prior to you, when he exited, he caught really bad traffic at the wrong time. He caught GT4s, he caught GT3s, and that really held him up as well. So it was the combination of you being able to take less fuel in pit lane, but also him obviously catching the traffic at the wrong time, where you got to do an extra lap with no traffic in front of you and were able to push. So you balanced it out really well, and you managed to, come away with a really solid strategy that got you some good gap back to Daniel, and he then really couldn't come back and catch you from that point. Monza next week, how are you feeling the Mustang's going to do? As I said, you really only need to score points and you'll be crowned the champion, because you're over a race win away. Like you're more than a race win ahead of the next car for points. So even if you weren't to score points, you'd still be leading the championship next week. So, does that take any pressure off next week, that you can kind of just cruise along for an hour and then win the title? Or is it's still going to be crunch time and you're still going to try and push as hard as possible?
No, it definitely takes some pressure off. This league overall has been a great series. I've had a lot of fun. I'm enjoying myself, even like tonight, not getting the pole. I knew I had the speed to get the pole, but when I didn't get it, messed up on my qualifying. I didn't get frustrated. I was actually happy. I was really looking forward to racing with Caffrey and Steiner and Daniel, so it was just a fun night, and that's what we're going to do next week. Probably the same thing, just go out there and have a good time. I really enjoy racing with this group, so we're just going to have some fun. But yeah, the Mustang's been a great car. I've really enjoyed it this season, and I don't get to race it very much because it seems to not be popular with what other people want to race in the endurance races. But I enjoy it. I love the car. It sounds great. It drives fun, a lot of power. It's just a great car overall.
Yeah, indeed it is.
Well, it's been an incredible season from Nathan, hasn't it, Jim? And I think he's put himself in this position now. 7 race wins to this point, dominant fashion. Do you think, Nathan, if Daniel had been here the whole season, would you have as much of a lead now as what you've previously had, or do you think you still could have had a race win amount of points ahead of the next car behind you?
No, it definitely would have been closer. I've enjoyed Daniel coming in and adding some pressure to me to up my game, and push harder. So it definitely would have been a closer fight if he was here for the full season.
Well, I think
it's been a phenomenal season, hasn't it?
Here, let me add. I just want to say that I think Daniel coming in has been fantastic. And I know he came over to help some of the less experienced drivers pick up some pace as well. But I really added something. With you having somebody that could get up there and go with you, and it made you push yourself, just like last week. That incident would not have occurred if Daniel wasn't in the series, because you wouldn't have been in that spot. You were having to push right there, and ultimately, a little racing incident happened. But it's also nice to see Steiner getting comfortable, and even Caffrey here. For a Pro-Am driver, he lit it up here, obviously being Australian, and Bajole is been picking up pace all year. I really look forward to next season with you guys. Maybe having 4 or 5 of you that can run up there and win a race at any given time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been great. Like you said, Daniel coming in, that awesome race battle we had at Daytona, coming down to the last.
I bet you did like that one.
It was just great. Yeah, it was. I still, chuckle and laugh and smile when I think about it. It's just a great thing that doesn't happen if he doesn't come in. So really appreciate it. Yeah, and definitely, the Australians. I hang out with them in Discord and hung out with them, during this race. Knew they were going to be good tonight. Had some fun battling with them. And yeah, definitely look forward to next season with everybody.
Well, Nathan, phenomenal effort from yourself, not only tonight, but this whole season as well. Let us know anyone you want to give a shout out to. Myself and Jim, congrats on the win. Congrats on taming the mountain, and best of luck next week at Monza, where you'll look to claim the GT Challenge Championship prior to the final round the week after. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I just want to give a shout out to them guys. The Australians, Dave and Caffrey did a great job tonight. Great run. Also, Tyler hangs out with us. Hammond, he had a great run tonight, finishing top 3. I know he's in a hard points battle in his division, so shout out to him doing a great job tonight. Daniel, we're praising him for coming in. Really appreciate him being in the series. All the admins, Jed, Carlos, everything they do for us. The broadcast, Hamish, you, Jim, MotorMouth Broadcast. Appreciate everything you guys do. All the fans out there watching. My number 1 fan watches my broadcast races. Love you, Mom.
Well, Nathan, awesome. Best of luck next week. Thanks so much for coming over chat to us. And we'll see you on the other side of Monza. More than likely, you as the champion.
Yeah, all right, we'll see you then.
All right, buddy.
See them. Well, Jim, what a race. What a season it's been as well. 2 rounds to go. The championship looks to be decided next week out at Monza, at least for the pro side of things. The Pro-Ams are still looking to be slightly contested, and the GT4s are still contested as well. So there's still more action to come your way from the High Point Racing GT Challenge, as well as the final round tomorrow for the High Point Racing IMSA Championship out at Road Atlanta, home of the Petite Le Mans Series, where we'll crown some champions as well. So well, we've already crowned those champions from that series, Jim. Tomorrow's race is a showcase race. Really, it's the provisional champions become the champions, and then we look ahead to next season where we've got a very European-esque championship lined up, and it's going to be a fun time for next season as well. So a massive shout out though to all of our supporters out there, including our subscribers as well. And if you're only just joining us or you've been here for a while and you haven't done so, hit the like button and subscribe, the bell icon too, so you're notified whenever we go racing here on the channel. Upcoming this weekend, well, obviously tomorrow, Thursday night, we go racing for the High Point Racing IMSA Championship for the finale of that season. Saturday night, we're back with more I2I Xfinity Championship action. Myself, Jim, and Ewan O'Leary in the booth for that one. It'll be a fun time, and then we'll restart all over again for next week with more action to come your way here on the channel. With a multitude of leagues and a multitude of different racing categories, you're bound to find something you like here at MotorMouth Broadcasting. But I've been Amy Toronto with Jim Cunningham. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you being here once again as we've just raced live at Mount Panorama Bathurst. And until next time, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.